Alright guys, we're ready to start now. I'm Evan Tanaka with Team 1466 Webb Robotics.
I'm Seth, also with Team 1466. I'm Vincent, also with Team 1466.
We're going to talk to you today about scouting and analysis.
We do it, and you guys should.
So, why scouting matters? It's the process of collecting data from other teams, for both matches and other sources. It helps you figure out. You scout because the data is crucial to making informed game strategies and analyze picks. Because you want to have a team that works well with what you have, so you see what other teams are good at. If they're good at your thing, maybe not, but if they're good at something you're not good at, you can have them. It enables alliance selection confidence, avoiding reputation, bias, and pit hype, informed decision making, and match strategy, knowing your partners and opponents, so you know how to maybe counter what you're going up against. Having students on your team scout every robot and every match might not be realistic, so you just got to figure out how to spread your resources in a way that is still useful. Common constraints include limited number of students, limited devices, limited internet connection, social media service, inconsistent data quality, time pressure during events, and control line selection. So you just want to make sure you get quality data that makes sense and helps you in any way. So don't try to overdo it due to your constraints. What happened? You got to choose simple metrics that scale well, so it's not too complicated with people looking at it. Game menu being your robot strategy drive your data collected. Because once again, you want to have data on teams that cooperate with your strategy. Include primary scoring objectives, auto endgame defense, and common fouls, just to know how they did in general. And what you can, scoring counts, success failure indicators, cycle times, and penalties accuracy. Put numbers for that. Quantitative data, the how and why, observation from the capture, driver skill and consistency, defense effectiveness, field awareness, recovery from errors, and that's why it's good to have a comment section as well, so if there's something you can't put in the selection base, we can talk about it in the comment section.
Alright, so it's important to have all of your scouting data all easy to access. You can look at it just at any point. This is, I believe, from SMR a couple years ago, yeah. And see all of this just in a nice, easy spreadsheet. So that's just a good example to go by for. You want everything to be organized and accessible. And now we have obviously different stuff, but we've also added some more quantitative scouting stuff and more qualitative scouting stuff as well. And so for more qualitative stuff, stats don't always tell the full story. So especially if there's just a bad game or some team composition stuff makes one robot have an outlier performance. There's always something to be looked at with qualitative scouting data. So it should never be ignored. We've had a track record of either ignoring it a little bit or not using it as much as we should have. So it's always good if you have people up in the stands and you have all your scouters for individual robots. It's always good to have a couple people given the resources to go and take notes on what the robots are doing. For scouting tools, we have pen and paper. We've done this a couple of times, especially if there's no internet at some of our competitions. It's not very fun because we have to enter all that stuff into a Google Sheet later on. Google Sheets, it's just a spreadsheet and a nice, easy way to keep stuff organized. Blue Alliance, you can go back and watch matches in case we missed some stuff. You can look at a couple of the stats they have on there as well. QR Scout is it's made by Team 2713, and we have a little QR code scanner right here, or a barcode scanner, and it's just a nice, easy way to enter data into a spreadsheet. It's really quick and simple. You just configure it to how you want it, so that's always nice. And then for managing scouts, you want everyone to have a good understanding of the game, and you want to have as many scouts as you can usually, but it's not always realistic. So you want to try to get your scouts involved early, get clear definitions for data points, rotate scouts, and try to have like a standard objective way to look at the matches for your scouts. This is an example of the QR scout entry form. Scout radios, we've used this a couple of times. We didn't use it last year, but the year before. So it gives us a couple of graphs, and then we also have our spreadsheet. It's also another great scouting platform, so customizable as well, and you can use it offline. And then, yeah, we passed out the paper scouting form, so you guys just want to pass those. And then for data hygiene, just making sure you clear out certain matches or whatever. Like I said, you gotta like flag outliers, take notes on different matches. So, you know, if there's one or two matches where, say, team composition makes a robot do something out of what it normally does, or if there's mechanical or code issues, whatever. You can flag those as outliers, and it's always good to keep note that there are outliers, but yeah, and don't just delete the data though. You need to keep track of it, keep track of everything. And then, so this is just some clean data right here. This is like everything's highlighted for scouting potential outliers and looking at sort of the percentiles that they fall in for different categories. And
so like averages versus best performance. So we want to choose the right metric for the questions. We want to choose averages when we want things to be more reliable. We want to build more match strategies. We want to remain consistency. Versus best performance is when finding like an alliance selection ceiling. So what's the best teams out there? End game potential, watching what teams do the best in the end game. Can they climb? Can they do different end game things? And best case scenario. So in this best case, what's going to benefit us the most? So the key takeaway here is different questions to different analysis. Again, with like the clean data hygiene, clean data to focus on the top 75% of the data, maybe the top 50%. We want to remove all robot disabled matches, because that won't give us the clean data that we need. So what do we want to do with the solid signal light matches? Do we want to remove these from the match calculations or leave the zeros and the averages? It depends on our goals and how we're going to use the data. In this case, we have to make the call here. The zeros aren't going to help us with match strategy for the next qualification. Nor they're going to decide our capabilities on the qual lines together. But keeping this zero skews our view of the matches. It skews our data. And so it's going to change on how we look at that bot. Comparing match data for a single robot also helps us spot trends. Are they rising up through the ranks really fast, or are they really inconsistent? And then how to staff. Staffing is a very important thing because I know not everyone likes to scout. It's super important though, and just having a couple people in the stands with you will always just be super important. We need to help everyone understand the game. Watching matches and scouting is a great way to get that understanding extremely quickly. We need to make use of the data for our drive and strategy teams. Without our data, the strategy team won't know what team's going to be the best for us, and our drive team won't have that data to help them know this is what this team is good at, this is what this team is good at, here's what we're good at, here's what we should do. We need to include the scouts in the alliance selection or pre-strategy conversations because they know what's happening on the field. You could give it to your strategy person, but if the strategy person hasn't been watching the events, they're not going to know what you do. Yeah, and having the scouts make like pre-match predictions once you get past qual 15, it's like just watching and seeing. They know a lot about the bots at that point. They know things that may happen on the field. Having them make those pre-match predictions is like a good way of helping them put their observations for the test, and also put a bit of fun into scouting. You don't want your scouts to always be in the stands with you. That's one way to make sure that they never scout again. Having people in the stands for like an hour, 45 minutes, and then giving them a break or having them on their rotation to go do something else is a great way to keep your scouts engaged, but also able to take a break and reset their brain off of just watching constant events. Yeah, everyone can scout. Drive team can scout. Strategy team can scout. Pit members can scout. It's not just your scouting team to scout. Everyone can scout. We've been in events before where we've been understaffed and we've made everyone on Drive team scout for us before. They may not have liked it, but that's what we needed at the time. It also just helps people understand the gameplay mechanics even better. As we said earlier, this is a great way to have people understand what the game itself is. And having them in the stand and just watching, understanding different match strategies, understanding what robots are great at, what robots are bad at, is a great way to just help them understand better. Yeah, 8 scouts is great. That's what I'd love to see with the stands. And just have 6 robot scouts and 2 super scouts or backup scouts. Those are great to have. Just having that rotation of 6 that you could sub out for your 2 backups are great. If you can't staff that, that's okay. You don't need to have everyone scouting every bot. It's okay if you don't. You can have people scout. What teams have we seen that are the most consistent? Just scout those. What teams have we seen that are on the rise? Just scout those. If you know if there's bots in that qual that you know are going to underperform, don't scout them, because you know they're going to underperform. Just scout the teams that you know are going to do well or are the most consistent. Yeah, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
Do you think there's any good empirical stats out for evaluating defense? Because I know there was DPR for a while, but that kind of sucked.
Honestly, I mean, a lot of it can just come down to you taking notes on matches and flagging all the outliers if you want to just go through everything. If you've got notes on every match, then you should be alright with that.
We encourage our scouters to write comments before turning in their data. That way we just know some more about that bot. Not a lot of people enjoy doing that, but it's something that really helps us keep our data streamlined. Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more about how the QR code thing works? Like,
Oh yeah, it's so it.
how do
it
you
just-
use that at a map? You know,
It just plugs into a computer, and when you scan something, the QR code, the scouting form just generates a QR code in your.
okay, so when you put it in, a QR is generated,
Yeah,
and then
you use,
Yes.
is
use
that
this
like the
Google
super
Sheet.
scouts use
But
that?
the scouter scouts on their phone, and then when they're done, it gives them a QR code.
And they just
He
scan
scans.
that.
Yeah, and then it just puts it all into our sheet.
Okay, thanks.
It's nice because it doesn't require a lot of internet, because we've been in some definite
Yeah.
Faraday cages of.
You've mentioned that you guys like to do paper scouting, digital scouting, and a few other methods. What has worked well and been the most consistent for you guys?
After Scout Radius and QR Scout, I really liked, we used QR Scout for most of our events last year, and that was probably my favorite. Paper scouting also works, but I'm
Paper
not.
scouting is like we have no other choice. Let's
Okay.
paper scout. That's like last case scenario. QR Scout was great.
Okay.
I just tell all my scouters, hey, just fill this out, and then once you're done, just show me your phone. I can just scan everyone in.
Based on your manual scouting, how accurate have you found the EPA model to be?
So as far as like in previous years we've kind of cut down all of our data to be like just have our own sort of weighted EPA number, and that was fairly accurate for certain games. This past year we barely even used EPA. We mostly looked at averages and percentiles for what teams were good at, because oftentimes it ended up being there's one like hole that needs filled in a team composition. So yeah, this past year we mostly just did that. It's been fairly accurate throughout most scouting methods, and the data that we've gotten from all of these scouting methods has also been pretty accurate, given the scouters have an understanding of the game.
Any more questions?
What are some ways other than going to like off-season events to help train your scouters that you guys use?
So we do a couple things. We have mock kickoff, so we kind of just run through a normal kickoff. That's one way that we help like train our team, and we do go through a lot of like scouting and bot analysis during that. We hold workshops. We haven't over like this off season. We really should. We'll probably hold one during the build season for my scouters. We typically do that, and we'll just say, hey, here's our scouting software. Let's try and use it. Here's a couple of matches from years past. Let's scout this out. What do you notice? Let's go over it. We do that.
Yeah, just being able to like watch a full game, even if it's on like Blue Alliance or some past recorded matches.
And then we made a training handbook that we give to some of our newer team members.
Any more questions?
Thanks, guys.